Hey guys, this is GamerCal. Welcome back to Pokemon Platinum Random Nuzlocke. Last time we basically got ourselves a couple of, new Pokemon in Mount Coronet and then did the gym trainers from the second gym. This time, since I've done a little bit of off-screen training for stuff, we are going to take on the gym itself. And here are the levels I'm at. Basically everybody is at level 20. Bugsy's going to be the main one I want to use here, so he's only at level 19. Oh, she, sorry. And Driver is probably going to get replaced at some point soon, so lagging behind a little bit, but mostly being kept for the typing. However, ghost typing is not as immediately amazing anymore because a lot of Pokemon do have ways of hitting ghost types now. But I want to very quickly go through a couple of new additions to stuff actually, because at this level we actually got Brick Break on Bugsy. I didn't realise it was this early in this game. I think in Emerald, Ruby Sapphire Emerald it was actually like level 30 or something that you learned this move, and that was insane, but now it's incredibly powerful to have this, so very much worthwhile there. Anarchy got Mudshot, so still not really super great to be honest. There's no water attack to use here and there's no other physical moves which don't really complement stats too well, you know, that's a bit of a shame, but we'll get there. It takes a long time to evolve as well, so I don't know how useful it's going to be, but we're still going to try. Donatello over here got Bite instead of Tackle now, so that's, I think that was already learned though, so that's whatever. And Banner got Seismic Toss, which was used instead of Focus Energy, so yeah. That's some extra stuff. Seismic Toss is really good against those enemies with very high physical defense, so I am grateful to have that as an option. So, let us see how badly this fight is going to treat us. We just go the same way as before, and Gardenia over here normally, of course, uses grass types. But yeah, this is going to be a very different fight now. Let's see what the Roserade turns into. So, apparently she is Tristan. Tristian, okay. That's an interesting one. So, her first Pokemon is another Love Disc. Oh man. I think, I can't remember what this would usually be, but I think it would be a fairly weak grass Pokemon, but oh, it does have Lucky Chant though, which is kind of cool. So yeah, the enemies won't be able to get hurt by critical hits for the next 5 turns. That's actually pretty neat, you know, from their perspective. She's gonna heal, so whatever, just gonna go ahead and use the Horn Attack here. Nowhere near as powerful as the Brick Break, but actually still enough to get a 2-hit KO, so you know what, whatever, we're just gonna use that instead. I don't need to use Brick Break all the time when I don't have to, although I will be healing pretty much straight after this, so there's not really any point in not using it, but whatever, I decided not to use it anyway. So, Heracross does get another level, that is really good, so we are going to get ourselves a little bit more attack power for the Mantine that shows up here. Okay, that is cool. I think that's replacing the Roserade. So, I don't mind this. I do mind the fact that it's probably got Wing Attack though, so we will switch out. And Agility comes in. Okay, so it was going to be faster than me anyway. Mantine's not the fastest Pokemon in the world, but it's not terribly slow. It's like base 70 or something. And it has Bubble Beam. So it actually does have a pretty powerful move to use against us here. So yeah, Mantine, pretty respectable threat. It has 140 base special defense too, which is why it survived even that 4 times effective attack there. But I should be able to take it out with just one more hit here, and it didn't crit me, so that is fine. That Thunder Shock will take it out. And yeah, I guess that probably replaced the Roserade? We'll see in a sec, but I reckon that's what replaced it. And a healthy amount of experience there as well, and oh, maybe not, because Crawdon comes in. Oh no, Crawdon's only level 20, yeah, that definitely did replace it, so that's kinda cool. I'm actually gonna just go ahead and switch out to Donatello here because I don't trust my defense at this point, and I do resist the water attacks here. As it just goes for the harder against the special attacker at the time. That's pretty amazing. Oh, metagame so hardcore there, right? But Razor Leaf should still 2-hit KO. Cordon really doesn't have very good defenses whatsoever. So yeah, you can see this. Oh no, it actually only 3-hit KOs. That's a shame. Yeah, you can see that Pokemon-wise, this team is actually a pretty significant threat. Once again, all water types though, which is weird. Although water is the most common type in the game. But I still find that really kind of hilarious, actually. That Vice Grip did quite a lot of damage after the Leer, but it's okay. That's why I didn't want to stay in though, because Cordon has like that 120 base attack, and it's quite fierce when you do not have a lot of HP left. So, yep. We're going to get ourselves another level on Donatello, of course, which is pretty good. It is kind of fitting that I did get a Gen 4 starter for this playthrough as well, actually. It wouldn't really be the starter you would think of using for the most part, but it's pretty good. You know, that's it. We get ourselves the Forest Badge. I don't know if I would have been able to do that quite as easily before, but I guess I probably could have done it. Before trading stuff, but yeah, any traded Pokemon up to level 30 will now obey, which is fine, and we get ourselves TM 86, which is Grass Knot, a very useful TM that we will learn later on in the game, I am sure. It's yeah, it does more it's basically low kick but for special attacking, and it still makes contact, which doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever, but you know, there you go. So yeah, because a lot of non-grass types can learn Grass Knot, so it really doesn't make any sense for it to have that added factor to it. So the next place we are supposed to go now is, using Cut, we are supposed to go into the Galactic warehouse and go from there. However, I want to quickly show off the underground exploration stuff, because I don't remember if you have to do that, but there's a fair few like cool things you can do with it, and whilst I can't show the multiplayer stuff off, I can still show the single player stuff. I think I haven't actually tried to do this yet in an emulation, so I don't know if it actually works, but we'll try. We get ourselves the Explorer kit so we can go underground and stuff, which is fine. Need to only use them, be down in tunnels, blah 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 blah. You can do this, that, and the other thing too. Oh man. So, let's go into Spelunking. So we have to go underground, and that'll be great. And yeah, that's exactly what we're gonna do. So we go ahead, go down to the Explorer kit, but we cannot use it on the inside. That is a thing. So, one of the neat little traits in this game, if you've ever noticed there's these things that you can see, like the little, what are they called? Like, they're normally used to stop traffic from, like, you know, going into a pedestrian zone and stuff. These are all just bike stops. They're kind of boring, but there's a lot of the sort of more circular things around, which is kind of cool. And they actually pump air into the underground. I'm trying to find one at the moment. I don't know if there is any in here. That'd be kind of bad if there wasn't any in the Turner, you know. But I think they might be at the very end of the place. Yeah, these things over here. They it's an air vent to exchange with the tunnels underground. So let's go ahead and use the kit. And yeah, wireless communications, blah blah blah. That actually won't do anything on the emulator, I don't think. So this is the one reason I'm not so sure about this though, because this doesn't have Wi-Fi enabled stuff, but apparently it works anyway. So that's kind of cool. And we find Aurorac down here. So this is kind of where I didn't actually remember that it was this way around. I should probably have had my screen switched for this, but I haven't made a layout specifically for this, so I won't really show off too much about this. But yeah, you can see the top screen works as a map here. The bottom screen is actually the one you need to look at in order to look at stuff. But yeah, there's a lot of passageway stuff, and yeah, why is he here? You can do whatever you want. Dig up stuff. that is basically what we're down here for. You can dig up items and stuff here, and yes, you can play with your friends. We can't really show any of that stuff off, but yeah. He's going to disappear. And we will basically go ahead and do the same, because I actually will go ahead and make a new thing for this. I forgot that the top screen is like, you know, a map for this. So I shall meet you back in a sec when I have made a scene to switch stuff around. Shut up, pigeon. Okay, for some reason when I change my setup it lags the emulator even more, but whatever, I just want to show this off anyway, so we won't take too long with this here. So, yes, we've made it into the underground thing, so we have some traps, which are things that you would use obviously if you were going to be playing with others, and yeah, you can set traps and all of that fun stuff. And yeah, big and empty, blah blah blah, novice spelunker, there are lots of hidden stuff, and we shall dig up some treasure, and that is something we can do. So let's go ahead and go back down into the underground, and once we have done that, we can dig up some treasure. So let's just see, hopefully it doesn't like lag too much with stuff here, but I guess you can kind of see the problem of going into it with this stuff here. Yeah, you can hear that it's lagging a lot more for some reason here. So this is going to be even harder to play than normal. When you're down here, that is a bit of a delay on your like turning movements and stuff, because it's trying to relay your movement and everything to everybody else that's down here, and that gets kind of awkward. So you can see this, the underground is split into lots of different segments if you take a look at the map there, and these segments are basically dependent on where you actually enter the underground from. So, you know, if you wanted to enter the top rightmost area, you would have to go into the top right of the world, and you know, the overworld, and enter the underground from there. We're not actually finding any stuffs here though. You kind of got to run around for a little while, and eventually you will find the glowing spheres and stuff, which I actually had last time, but didn't do anything with before coming back up, because I wanted to make the to basically just switch my screens around here size wise. But when you get close enough to a setup, then there should be a thing appearing for that. You can see all sorts of stuff that you could put here. You know, you could put more yeah, like you could put traps and stuff down in here and it would be pretty cool. There's actually a tool that you can get which lets you make secret bases. This is where the concept from Gen 3 went. We're not actually finding any spheres down here at the moment though, which is kind of awkward. There's no like treasure area things showing up. They would appear as yellow like sparkles on the top screen, but you can touch screen anywhere around, and there you go, you can actually see some now if you take a look at the map. And basically what you need to do is you need to head towards those spots, and I believe they're on this side. And once you actually go ahead and reach them, I do apologize for the slowdown and stuff here, but hey, that's just kind of a thing that happens when you emulate stuff. You can see there's a thing in the wall, which we now go ahead and press the A button to, and we can dig into the wall, and this, reconfirmed. This creates a little minigame, and we're going to get an explanation on said minigame now. It's all done by touchscreen, so yeah, there's a note in the Explorer kit. This is how you do it. So there's a sledgehammer and a pickaxe in here. The hammer will make the wall like collapse a bit more quickly, but bust through a much wider area, and the pickaxe is used for the fine-tuning. So you've got to try and get all the items before the wall comes tumbling down, otherwise the items won't be anywhere near as good. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So you press the button to to like switch between them, and you can see which one is highlighted at the time, and you basically click a square and it busts open stuff. The bigger the you can see the mouse here because I'm actually not like hiding that right now. The bigger the area, or not the bigger, the darker the area, or the fact that there's rocks and stuff here, these will take many more hits to break compared to the light ground here. This will only take one pick to break, and you can actually see stuff which is underneath it if you look really carefully. Also, you can see that this made a bit of a crack in the wall. This is basically your hit limit, so you can only hit the wall so many times before it all entirely caves in. So the idea is to try and open as many areas as possible and find this stuff. So we can see that there is a thing here, so we'll just change that up, and that is a sphere, which is a unique thing to the underground that you can trade for stuff. And we'll see there's nothing down there, so you want to try and cover as wide an area as possible. Just try and see where the stuff could be hiding, and hope that it's not hiding under rocks, because yeah, they can get kind of obnoxious. Doesn't really look like there's much of anything there. As you can see, this is the smallest item you can find. You can find really large items, but looks like we are going to have to go under the rocks at some point. And really, you're trying to eliminate as many of these sorts of spaces as you can. It's surprisingly tricky to get everything here. You see, we're really not finding anything here, and the wall is just about like crumbled in, so we're not going to find all the items. There is definitely an item here, so you can see that, but we don't have nearly enough time to get that one. So yeah, and there's the other one. That's typical. So you can see the pick really doesn't chip away as much, and you can see if you look here that this is a very clearly different thing to this. So yeah, this would be a pretty small one too, but as I said, don't have enough time for it. And you can see when you run out of time, the entire wall collapses, and you still get something off of it, but you do not get very much off it. You get a very tiny sphere, and that is it. Sometimes you can go into the same wall multiple times, however, and there are now 4 items in this, so we have to be maybe a little bit less careful. But you can see right over here there is something to start this off. So that is a pale sphere. In the original Diamond and Pearl games, Diamond had prism spheres, Pearl had pale spheres, and they very rarely crossed, and they tended to be used to get the rarer items. So version exclusive stuff, kind of annoying, but it was alright. In Platinum, however, you can get multiple stuff, and you can also find these. These are walls that if you hit those, then the wall still breaks a lot, but you don't get any of the recoil effect to it. So try not to hit those, and that was kind of cool. I think it's easier just to chip off these here. And there's the last one. So if you find all the stuff, the quicker you find it the better, but if you find all the stuff, you can see these are significantly better than the spheres that we had before. So size 21 for the large one, and pale spheres are always smaller in size, but yeah, you could see very clearly. Was that one on the ground as well? No, it wasn't. Traps can be naturally on the ground as well, and you can you can like unearth those and use them for yourself. So 2 things here. There's a wall, don't want to hit that. See, that's what happens when you accidentally hit the wall. You obviously can't tell that there's a wall underneath it until you actually hit it though, so it's kind of irritating to come across them, but hey, that is the name of the game. Try not to hit the walls. Nothing there to speak of. I want to see if other items will show up just now or not. I don't think they will, but there's another wall. I have a feeling there's not one there. I used to be reasonable at this, but you see 2 items when there's a lot of wall stuff about, they're really hard to find. So yeah, it's a bit of an irritating game to play at times, but you see there's a lot of stuff here. I think I'll just go through one more at the moment. I might go through some more when I, you know, get more missions to do in just a sec, but yeah, this is the general idea of the play. It's so annoying hitting the walls because they really just mess you up entirely. Where would the last one be here? I want to say it's hopefully not underneath this stuff. It's not there. That's a wall. Let's chink away at that. See, yep, that is just what's there. Maybe here? Nope. I guess it is going to be underneath this stuff then, just to be a jerk. And yeah, I actually have no idea then. Yeah, I don't know where the last one was there, but anyway, we've got ourselves some basic sphere stuff, so let's just go. Well, we can explain the menu here as well. So we were given a couple of traps, and you can place those wherever you want. So you can't place them in a wall because it actually places them in front of you. So yeah, any traps that you place will be visible to you. Any traps that anybody else would place would not be visible to you. So yeah, is there any other trap stuff here? No, there is not. But you can see that if you do ping an area, then the traps will show up as well. If you hit the trap, even if it's your own trap, then, you know, stuff like that happens. There are some traps that stop you from moving, and you need to do other stuff for it. I actually don't know how the leaf trap would work because I don't know how the mic stuff is on the emulator, but I can show the bubble trap at least. So you get caught in the bubble trap and you have to pop all the bubbles in order to keep going. You just have to tap them away. As you see, this could be kind of irritating, I guess, if you were playing this with other people, but it's fun at the same time. You can see what spheres that you've got, and we'll actually have a reason to go there in a sec. Goods, that's just stuff that you've traded for. Treasures, items that you find, you need to transfer them from this bag to your item bag if you want to actually use them. You can see your own profile stuff here, so this is more to do with the stuff with other players that I can't really show, and then you can go back up to the surface like we did before. So let's go back and talk to the guy, and we will see what else you have to say for us. Rewards, so we have a prism sphere from the diamond stuff, and yeah, we get some very, very, very low level spheres. And you can unearth stuff. Fossils and stones are the other stuff that you can get as well. So this is how you get the fossils of the game. And this actually, in post-game, this does include fossils from the previous generations too, which is pretty cool. But yeah, you can't bring spheres out into the overworld, but you can give them in the underground for goods. A person, if you know, there are, I think in the 4 corners of the place there are hikers underground that you can trade the spheres to. They will have a good which can be either an item or usually a decoration for your secret base. They will have a target as to what level of sphere they are willing to accept, like red level 20 or prism level 15 or whatever, and you have to match or better that in order to get the good. So what else have you got to say? Let's use some spheres. And yeah, you can actually have them grow underground, which is weird. And yeah, you can have spheres level as you do stuff in the underground. So let's go ahead and quickly show that off. And yeah, it's an interesting mechanic, I guess, if you are playing with other players and stuff a lot, because I think they grow faster. If I might be wrong with this, but I think they grow faster if you have communications going with other players. So yeah, you can see my screens are very slightly different in size stuff here. But anyway, spheres. You can go ahead and bury a sphere in the ground, and it will level up. There's a limit to how many items you can place in the ground. The game doesn't tell you the limit. I think it's about like 16 or somewhere close to that, but the game never tells you how many things you can put in the ground. It just has the limit there, and if you place another item in the ground from there, it will overwrite the last one that you put in, which is kind of annoying. But yeah, this is just general mechanic stuff. That way you can get the spheres to level up a lot. Actually, there's some you can get some really crazy levels later on, and then if you tap an area you can see spheres that you buried as well. So that is the general idea of that. I cannot obviously show them being leveled up because that takes like real time. I don't actually even know how that works. I should have switched my scene. I don't even know exactly how that works in terms of... go on, XSplit, please. There we go. XSplit's being rather slow for no apparent reason. Yeah, I don't know how it works with the emulation anyway, so yeah, buried spheres, they should grow bigger, blah blah blah, that's it, you gotta remember where you put them. And we get ourselves the digger drills, so this will probably be the last thing that we would get here. And yeah, going back in, it's not over the secret base. I think this is the last thing that you need to do, or the last thing that I'd be able to do, because if there's something beyond this, it's probably to do with other players. Sorry, I had to clear my throat there. So yeah, last time go make the secret base, and that's what we're going to do. We can show the mechanics of that. We might actually get decorations for the secret base. That might be the other thing that we would get. And yeah, I know this is kind of aside from everything, and it's not really... There's not really a whole lot of point to this stuff anymore, I guess, in the sense of, well, you can't really play with other people on it, so it's like, what's the point of even doing this then? Well, it's more to show it off than anything else. So I forget how exactly you use the drill here. Yeah, that is actually a really good question. How do you... Is it a trap that you can use? Yes, it is. Okay. So yeah, you can only use it once. I think you can trade for more of these from the other people in the underground. But if you use the drill, you can discover a cavern, and we will make our secret base here. So unfortunately, our secret base here is full of rocks, and that is not exactly very good, but yeah, we have no goods to decorate our base with. But these rocks are actually removable, I believe, by a particular item. And yeah, you can have the base open for, playing game stuff. You could see, just like the Oras bases, actually, there's a flag there, and one of the main sort of games that you played with this is that you would take that flag and try and get it back to your base before you got caught by the person whose base it was. So that was kind of neat. And also you can see the sparkles there, those are where my spheres were buried. But yeah, if somebody else has got a base down here, then they can see where it is. You can now see the red square there is where your base is. And if they discovered your base, they took your flag, they go back towards their base, and hopefully not run into their own traps. And, you can do stuff with that. So, I don't know if we get any decorations here, but let's find out. Because if we get some decorations, then yeah, that would definitely be a thing. Asking too much. Oh, shut up, you. Yeah, we do get a decoration, a playing table, which is good. And a chair to go with that. So yeah, very basic decoration stuff. Bookshelf as well, which is kind of cool. And a Buniri doll, because freaking Buniri, man. Yep, you can only use a drill once, and you need to get another drill in order to move the base. So it's not as easy as just using secret power, but you can trade spheres for it. So yeah, this is the final test. Secret base, it's empty indeed. You can decorate it. So this will be the final thing that we can do. And yeah, you can use furniture and stuff just like you can in the modern games. This is obviously where the inspiration... Well, no, the inspiration for this came from Gen 3, and then obviously it's just been adapted to the modern games as well, which I think is a pretty neat touch. And yeah, that's kind of just why I want to show this off. Also, that game time is actually relatively legit here. I haven't played too many, I haven't had too many idle hours on this now, because I've done a lot of grinding for making sure that I am not under-leveled for stuff. Yep, so we're in the secret base, and if you leave the door open, you can't decorate the base. So we have to go ahead and close it in order to decorate the stuff. You can leave it open, and there are, I think, traps and stuff that you can place in here as well, but we don't have those for it. So let's do some decorating, and we shall place the table down somewhere, I don't know, like here. I actually don't know if you can do this with touch controls. I don't think you can, but let's just go ahead and see. Can you? Yes, you can. Oh wow, okay. That's a little bit counterintuitive because you can't use touch controls for this, but you can use the touchscreen to place it wherever you want. You cannot place it on other stuff though, so place a binary doll in the corner, and yeah, that is the very basic stuff about decorating everything. Again, it actually shuts off the DS wireless stuff whilst you're doing that, so the only other thing that's down here really of any, like, you know, noteworthy stuff for the playthrough, I forgot to switch my scene again as the transition was going there. Do apologise, we won't really be using that scene again, but yeah, the only other thing of note just now would be the traders, but I don't even remember where one of those is, if I have access to one right now, and honestly it's kind of not worth it, you know. I don't really care too much for that, but yes, we've even managed that. And so now we have the full spelunking stuff, and that's kind of it. That's the reason for it is that if people walked in when you were decorating, you could put stuff on top of them by accident, and yeah, and that's it. Our final reward is a Piplup doll to place in the decoration, you know, in the secret base that we will never see. But yeah. And that's it. You can get stuff from other people as well, which is kind of cool. And yeah, this was another thing for Diamond and Pearl. Armor and skull fossils were only possible to get in the opposite, you know, like in one game or the other. Just like a lot of version exclusive stuff that way. Exactly. But you can exchange them and, you know, hold an item, trade, etc. And it's pretty great. So yeah. Let's not, because I can't. But still, pretty decent stuff there from Orberg. Get advice on digging stuff, and you can uncover dark rocks. They're very hard, blah blah blah. Don't hit those, and yeah, that's basically it. So, now on sale. Oh man, this is how the radar works, even though we already kind of know that. So, that was just a very sort of basic look into the underground stuff. So with that said, I think that will do for now. So this being GamerCow playing Pokemon Platinum Random Nuzlocke. Next time I want to just go ahead, I think, and show the rest of... do I want to show the rest of Eterna or not? No, I think actually we'll just progress with the plot. We'll grab a Slay Pokemon out and cut up here. And also, we shall deal with Team Galactic, stuff like that. If video stuff's a bit slower to come out in the days to come, there's a couple of reasons for that. I really should have said this at the start, but whatever. If you've listened through until now, that's great. SGDQ, Summer Games Done Quick, is on at the moment, and there's a lot of games I will probably want to watch from that. So I may not be recording as often as I would be, in past weeks, but also there's an event for me in the next couple of weeks that my grandparents are coming up on Monday, I think, next week. So yeah, 2 weeks of that as well, so there may not be as many videos for the first half of August pretty much, but I will try and get a fair bit recorded before then and schedule them, you know, as I go, rather than what I've been doing at the moment, which is just recording one per day and doing it that way. I may just backlog a lot and try and get them at least up every couple of days over the period when my grandparents are up. I might just be able to record anyway, and I might be overthinking things here, but I have a feeling I'm probably going to need to do a lot with them as well. So, public service announcement stuff done. Join us next time when we go ahead and take on Team Galactic. See you guys next time.